there, this is Kande Scentsy Family Director, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about your Scentsy purchase. Now, if you are watching this, then you have likely just made your very first Scentsy purchase, and if that is the case, then thank you so much for your order, and we very much look forward to helping you make the best of your purchase. So that's really what this video is all about. It's helping you get the most out of your Scentsy warmer and wax. So we're going to talk about a few tips and some of the safety features of a warmer. So first things first, let me show you what you are going to get. Now we have a lot of different styles of warmers, but this is an example of one of our premium full-size warmers. So there is a tray. This is where you're going to put the wax, and then inside of most of our warmers there is a light bulb, and that is what warms the wax. Now it also has this dial here where you can just turn the warmer off and on, and that just simply turns on the light bulb, and that light bulb is what is going to warm that wax and fragrance your home. So when you order the wax, it's going to look just like this. This has 8 cubes on the back. You simply open that up and you pop out however many cubes you like. The nice thing about Scentsy is that you can really use however much fragrance you want in your home. If you're like me and you like a lot of fragrance, then you might use maybe 2 or 3 cubes, but if you're a little bit more sensitive and you don't want as much, then you might just want to use 1 cube. So it helps you to be flexible with your fragrance. So that's a really nice option. So speaking of the bars, now whenever you go to, say, a party, or even if you're purchasing online, when you choose one of those scents, even if you're choosing it in one of the little testers, they're always going to come in this size in a bar. This bar is just $5, and you can buy 5 and you get one of those free. But let's talk about the scent. So with each of those, you're going to get 60 to 80 hours of fragrance. So that means that each one of these cubes are about 8 to 10 hours of fragrance. So when you first get your warmer, if say you're setting it up somewhere in a living space, then you might do a couple of cubes to get that amount of fragrance that you would like. So you're going to put a couple cubes in. Now if you put 2 cubes in, that's going to be about 8 and 8, so 16, or 10 and 10, 20. So 16 to 20 hours of fragrance. So depending on how much and how long you leave that on in your home is how long that fragrance is going to last. I've had a few customers that said it just doesn't last anymore, and they have had the same cubes in there for a couple of weeks and never turn it off. So that is going to happen. And the great thing about Scentsy wax is that it actually never evaporates into the air. So you never breathe that in, that those beads of wax don't settle into your walls and into your carpets. So it's also a safer option for those reasons as well. So again, this is 60 to 80 hours of fragrance. Each one of those cubes are about 8 to 10. Okay, next I wanted to talk about not diluting this fragrance. So it's tempting if you already have a couple in there and you just want to make that fragrance enhance it a little bit more, or if you're starting to not smell it, just to add another cube. That actually dilutes the fragrance, and so it's recommended really just to dump your wax and start new. And really, like how I like to dump my wax is you either can turn it off for about 2 minutes. That hardens it up just enough where it's flexible, where you can pop that wax out, or you can dump the warm wax right out into the trash can and then take a paper towel and simply wipe it clean. If you have one of our wall plugins, then if you grab a little cotton ball or cotton pad, you can simply just put that in there and it soaks it all up, and then you can toss it. So that's the easy ways to get out your wax and to change it out. Now another thing that you can do is if you have not used up all of your wax, all of the fragrance in your wax, but you want to change to a new fragrance, then you can pour warm wax directly back into what we call a clamshell, which is this. It's specially formulated wax where it can take that warm wax. So you can pour it directly back in and then reuse that. So that's a really nice option for changing out your fragrances. So I do that all the time. I really like it. Okay, now another thing that I want to talk about is cleanup. So it's going to be inevitable where your kid or cat knocks over this tray and it's going to spill. So a couple things. Now, if it gets on your warmer, once it dries, it's going to peel right off. Now, if you have a really bright red wax, for example, and you have it on a white warmer, then what you want to do is take one of those magic erasers and that will take it right off. Super easy, no problem at all. Now, if you get that wax, say, on something like a carpet or a material, the best thing to do is you're going to take yourself a paper towel and you're going to lay it right over the wax. And you want to do this as soon as possible after you dump that wax, just so that the oils don't get embedded into your material. So you're going to put that paper towel and then you're going to take a warm iron and you're going to simply iron it right up. It brings all of that wax right to the surface, and you don't need a really super hot iron because our wax warms just right above body temperature. It's only a 15 to 25 watt bulb that warms it, so it's a very low temperature point to which it melts, so you don't need a very hot iron, and that will lift it right onto the paper towel and completely take your stain away. Now this works on material and it also works on walls, but what I like to do on walls and also on cabinets is this clamshell. The very top is as hard as like a piece of plastic from like a credit card, so what I like to do is use this as a scraper. So anywhere that I have dumped wax on accident, I will just use this to scrape it off, and then if you have any residue left, you can use the magic eraser trick to get it off, or you can take your iron and get that residue right off. That usually lifts all of the oils and everything right onto that paper towel, and you can toss it. So that is just a few tips and tricks. Now I'm going to give you a couple of safety information about your warmer. Now, when you think safety information, you think I might tell you some things to help you keep safe from the warmer, but actually I'm going to tell you why Scentsy is a safer option and just to help validify your purchase that you have made. So one, Scentsy wax just warms right above body temperature, so it's never going to burn little fingers or yourself or any animals that might get into the wax. So it will never burn you at all, so that is really nice. Now the other thing is that Scentsy wax, again, it doesn't evaporate into the air, so that wax is not going to be breathed into your lungs. And so we have a lot of customers who have COPD or other respiratory disorders and they cannot use candles in their house. This is the option to be able to use home fragrance because they are not breathing in evaporated wax. So again, you're not getting soot on your walls or little beads of wax in your carpet, and you're especially not breathing that in. And so that is a few safety tips as well. Let's make sure that we talked about everything. I mean, the last thing that's so obvious, it's so amazing about Scentsy is there's no flame. So of course, most of our warmers are warmed by a light bulb. We do have our element collection that is a hot plate, essentially. It's a warming element that is warming that wax, but otherwise it's just a light bulb, so there's never a flame danger. So you can leave on your Scentsy warmer just as you would leave on a lamp, and you never have to worry about that fire danger. So thank you so much for watching. I hope these little tips and safety information has been helpful for you, and thank you again for your purchase. And if you do still need to make a purchase, or you want to make a future purchase, I would love your business. You can visit my website at www.scentwithlove.us. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments, and please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.